was a treacherous journey to the mountaintops. Not for any monsters or wild animals. These rocky hills would normally be swarming with mountain orcs or dire wolves in any other part of the world, but they were quiet here. The danger came mostly from nature herself, with winds so ferocious as to bend the mast of a warship, inclines so steep and ice-sheeted that one wrong step could send a man tumbling to his doom. The only creatures that thrived up here were the birds, and the occasional thick-furred goat. The village and the valley at the mountain's foot was also suspiciously free of monster activity. The villagers all claimed it was because of their guardian lord who lived at the top of this very mountain. My companions and I had a suspicion about it, so we decided to tackle the climb to see who or what was at the top. Eventually, after several grueling days of climbing, with the clouds both above and below us, we reached the jagged peaks of these mountains. Only they weren't so jagged. They gave way to smooth, carved stone. It was so seamless it was as if the mountain had always had a castle at its peak. No, it was more like the castle grew out of the mountain itself. The doors were enormous, as high as the city walls of Baldur's Gate. My companions went to knock on it several times with the butt of their weapons. The doors opened with a loud creak, and the sight before us was equal parts breathtaking and unnerving. The owner towered over us. He was easily 24 feet in height. It wore flowing robes of bright blues embroidered with gold. Jewelry adorned its fingers, and a porcelain, smiling comedy mask hid its face. It was well versed in the common tongue, and seemed cordial enough. It wanted to talk, though not so much with us as at us. Still, hardly the worst way we could be meeting a cloud giant. It greeted us with a voice like mountaintop winds. "Well now, what have we here? Life truly is one obstacle after another. A dour sentiment, you may think, but I'm not of a dour people. Thank the Allfather that me and my fellow Skyotin were gifted with such jubilation, among a myriad of other gifts. Such skills, well honed over 100 years of practice, and well applied, can solve any issue that comes my way. I was busy ruminating on just how to solve my most current obstacle when you lot sauntered in. Very brave, I must admit. The road to my home, all the way up to the top of this mountain, it must have been dangerous. By small folk standards, of course. No, but look at me, stooping like an ape to talk to you all the way down there. This won't do. Come now, up we go. Let us speak more clearly." The giant grasped the four of us in his hands, scooping us up like pups and placing the group onto some type of drawing desk, with pen, paper, and ink blots so large that children could play on it. "There we are. Now we can have a proper conversation. Do try to speak up, though. Your voices are so small and weak and high-pitched, I can barely hear them half the time. I'd offer you refreshments, but I don't have cutlery and dishware in your size. Now then, about this ever so sudden and rude intrusion into my home. Yes, I invited you in, but I never gave you an invitation to visit in the first place. Normally I wouldn't tolerate small folk dropping by unannounced and scurrying about the place, but I just finished polishing the floors and I would rather avoid any more nasty stains. Are you all from the village? If so, there's no need. I don't require any human sacrifices. Their typical tithes is more than enough." The giant waved a hand the size of a horse in dismissal before any of us could answer. "No, Tish-Tosh, doesn't really matter. You made it here on your own, so you've got something about you, I'd say. In fact, you may all possess the faculties required for my latest obstacle in life. Little ones, I have a proposition for you. I trust you to graciously and enthusiastically accept. Do so, and I will forgive your sudden intrusion onto my domicile, and entrust you all with adequate payment for your services. Refuse, and I will be forced to meet you as intruders and thus enemies. Proper etiquette doth demands this of me, you understand. For one of the noble lines of Adam's blood cannot be sullied on account of impertinent small folk. My proposal follows thusly." He produced a scroll that I originally mistook for a carved-up log on some massive trap. "You are given the honor to deliver this scroll to the home of a one Agartha, a fellow Skyotin. That's Cloud Giant in the common tongue. None of you are to read its contents in full. If you are ever questioned on the scroll's contents, you are to state only that it contains my intent to court the fair Agartha. It contains poetry of mine own making, and lists the merits of our union. Tradition dictates that cloud giant men cannot court women unless we offer a suitable dowry in silver. Alas, the silver veins nearby are poor, and the villagers nearby even poorer miners. However, I've learned of one such invaluable trinket already made. It rests across the valley in a dwarf ruin. Retrieve it for me, then send both it and the scroll to Agartha. I shall give you a map marking both locations." The giant spoke some words in his strange tongue, voice booming like the roll of distant thunder. The massive scroll he was holding shrank down small enough to fit a human's hands. I grasped it. Before I could take my eyes off the parchment, the giant had scooped us all into his hands once again. "Return to me with her reply, and you shall be rewarded as promised. I shall provide you with quick transportation down my mountain and into the valley below. Should carve a couple days off your journey." The giant manhandled us like children. He placed us on top of a boulder with stone chairs carved onto it. Normal-sized chairs. But why would the giant... Oh, by the gods, no. He hoisted the massive boulder we were now seated on above his head and carried it out to the balcony, the rolling clouds beneath us looking like a violent gray sea. Our hearts sank, and we screamed in protest, but the giant's mind was made up. And I swear, I could see a gleam of joy in his eyes, just behind the comedy mask. "Yes, my fellows, keep up that spirit. This method of getting you down the mountain is a gamble, but I'd wager your odds are good. I love a good wager, and you lot are winners, I can tell. Don't make me regret sending small folk to do a giant's job. Go now with my blessing." With incredible strength, he heaved and tossed the boulder we were strapped to. When I woke up this morning, I didn't think I would be clinging for dear life onto a boulder that was speedballing over the edge of a massive mountain by a cloud giant. The strength he tossed us with. Incredible. We landed right near the main road, miles away from the mountain. Was he aiming for this? How could he see it? We landed rough, of course, but somehow none of us were crushed. I wonder what that damn monster is thinking. We were all rattled, but our wizard wanted to get more insight onto our, client. Using a scrying spell, we were able to determine what he was doing at the exact time of our landing. It had removed the comedy mask, showing a pale blue face with a leering smile and some sharp pointy teeth. I wonder if the small folk can do it. Oh well, can't expect much from those outside of the ordning. Now then, I need to prepare my wedding venue. What a glorious day it'll be from one mountainside to the other. We all groaned and sighed. How could something so large and so powerful be so happy-go-lucky? Wait, that boulder was aimed too precisely, and the carvings of the chairs on it look recent. And he answered the door way too quickly. We knocked with all our might, but that door was massive, giant-sized. How could he even hear it? He wasn't expecting us, was he? I shake the thoughts out of my head. I don't care to know any more about the minds of monsters like these. From now on, I'm only working for clients that are my size or smaller. A special thank you to all my wonderful patrons who continue to keep the channel afloat. Check out my Patreon for some cool stuff, like seeing videos early, voting on video topics, get awesome homebrew monsters complete with lore, treasure, and battle stats for your own games. But yeah, that's it for me. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, check out other videos on the channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers!